The latest 2024 thriller adventure film, Escape from Kalahari, is now available. The film is thrilling throughout, taking you on a dangerous and terrifying journey across the African savanna, so intense you might forget to breathe. A group of people, trying to escape an attack by African terrorists, board an illegally operated private plane. They thought they could get away, but midway, the plane suffered an engine failure and plummeted to the ground. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt, but the plane broke into two and was completely wrecked. A doctor's wife was trapped in the cabin, and though they tried to pull her out, the metal frame had pierced her calf deeply, and pulling her out would worsen the injury. They had no choice but to keep her in place. The pilot assessed their flight path and realized they had crashed into the Kalahari, one of Africa's most dangerous areas, teeming with wild beasts that could kill them at any moment. The pilot chose to exit the danger zone before nightfall, but the doctor, in love with his wife, refused to abandon her. Reluctantly, he stayed behind with her to await rescue, while the pilot led three others eastward. Midway, a chubby guy claimed they were heading the wrong way, insisting the village was to the west. The confident pilot dismissed his claim. 5 hours later, they were exhausted and out of water, but the pilot encouraged them to cross the desert to reach the village. They discovered another endless desert beyond the hill. The pilot acknowledged his error, while the upset chubby guy grabbed his gun, complaining that no one listened to him. Meanwhile, the wife's wound was bleeding, and they didn't notice the eyes watching them from the grass. Having gone the wrong way, they decided to retrace their steps, no longer trusting the chubby guy, who decided to escape alone. When the three returned to the crash site, they found blood everywhere and claw marks on the plane, evidence of a brutal attack. As the pilot went to check, the angry doctor attacked him, blaming him for smuggling antlers in the plane's tail, causing it to be overloaded and leading to his wife's death. But the dead can't be brought back, and the doctor had to accept his loss. As night approached, the only safe place was the cockpit, which could only fit 3 people. After a coin toss, Xiao Bai was left outside. Afraid, he tried to bribe Lao He for his spot, but Lao He refused. That night, Xiao Bai could only pray that the fire would scare away nearby beasts. The other 3 squeezed into the cockpit, while the confident chubby guy stayed outside. Unsurprisingly, he was soon attacked by beasts. Despite having a gun, it was useless in the dark, and his fate was sealed. Late at night, the pilot went out to relieve himself, and a black mamba silently slithered past him into the cockpit. The 3 inside, half asleep, didn't notice the danger at their feet. Outside, Xiao Bai, unable to resist sleep, didn't see the 3 pairs of eyes approaching. Suddenly, a scream woke the 3 inside. It was Xiao Bai being attacked by beasts. The doctor, unable to bear it, wanted to help, but before he could open the door, a lion charged at them, forcing them to block the entrance. The doctor froze as he saw a snake on Lao He's leg. The startled black mamba bit him, and everyone quickly stomped it to death. The doctor tied a rope around Lao He's thigh to stop the venom from spreading, then cut open the wound to squeeze out the poison. Thanks to their quick actions, Lao He survived. By morning, the beasts had stopped attacking. When they went, the doctor, devastated, slumped against a tree, refusing to leave despite the captain's pleas. In the end, only the captain and old Fei chose to move forward. Unexpectedly, hope appeared in the form of a cloud of dust in the distance. The off-road vehicle brought them joy, even making the doctor, who was about to give up, smile. They didn't realize this marked the start of their nightmare. The newcomers were not rescuers but local terrorists. They knocked down the doctor with a rifle butt. Local resident Old Hay tried to explain, but the terrorist leader's anger spiked upon seeing the smuggled goods on the plane. He immediately shot Old Hay dead, terrifying the captain into silence. The leader took the antlers and left 2 henchmen to guard them. One soldier kept taunting the captain, igniting his anger, but he knew it wasn't the right time. In the afternoon, as the soldiers began to doze off, the captain seized the moment, creeping towards them. Any noise would mean instant death. Just as he was about to grab a gun, a soldier woke up and aimed at him. Luckily, the gun jammed, and the captain tackled him, deciding to fight for his life. The doctor, realizing he had just killed someone, was too late to save him. The 2 survivors didn't give up hope. The loyal captain didn't abandon the doctor who had just saved his life. Instead, he helped him along. They reached a cliff, and during the climb, the doctor slipped. The captain looked up and saw a horde of corpses approaching. They had to hide behind rocks before the horde spotted them, or they would surely die. Fortunately, the captain managed to push the doctor up in time. Even more fortunately, he saw smoke rising from a village not far ahead, giving him hope. If they could avoid the horde, they could survive. But the blood trail left by the doctor quickly attracted the lions, who began closing in on their location. The lions, smelling blood, searched the area, and the two were too scared to make a sound. Eventually, the lions, unable to find their prey, started to leave. Suddenly, the wind changed direction, blowing towards the lions, and the Lion King stopped again. As one crisis ended, another started. A venomous crab climbed onto the captain's shoulder. He stayed still, holding his breath. The lions were right below them, and the crab crawled onto the doctor's face. Seeing the little creature's tail twitching, the captain mustered the courage to swat it away, accidentally dislodging a stone that made a noise, catching the lion's attention. At this life-and-death moment, the captain faced two choices: abandon the doctor and run to the village, or stay and feed the lions with him. Unexpectedly, the captain took off his jacket, smeared the doctor's blood on himself, and told the doctor to live on and not let his wife down. In the doctor's cries, the brave captain charged at the lions, hoping his sacrifice would buy the doctor time to escape. The captain died, and the doctor, walking through the wilderness, collapsed before reaching the village. When he awoke, he saw several hunting dogs. Realizing he was doomed, he picked up a stick and charged at them. Suddenly, a lightning bolt struck, scaring the dogs away. Then, a torrential rain began. Perhaps it was the virtue accumulated in his life as a doctor that moved the heavens to spare him. Ultimately, local villagers found and rescued him.